Welcome to Badger Den, where we're bringing you nothing but Badger sports all year long. Welcome back to Badger Den. I'm Jeff Brinton, joined along with McCall. Thanks, McCall, for coming along. Today, Matt Pellegrini is a little under the weather, so McCall's here to go with us for the conference update. So tell us, McCall, what's happening around the conference?
Okay, and first we have Salt Lake Community College. They're 6-1 right now. And then our very own Snow College is 5-2. North Idaho College is 3-3. College of Southern Idaho is 3-3 also. USU Eastern is 3-4, and Colorado Northwestern Community College is 0-6.
Sad day for them. They haven't won a game yet, so it looks
No.
like they're going to try to win a game this week. We'll get to that in a minute. But it looks like Salt Lake is kind of leading the pack. The Badgers were able to beat them a few weeks back in December, but we'll have to tell you what is going to happen this weekend with a key matchup and all that. We're going to get to that. It's going to be beautiful. McCall's going to lead us through that. But first, we're going to talk about what happened last weekend in the SWAC tournament. That's the Scenic West Athletic Conference. So, McCall, what happened with Snow College over the weekend? And then Salt Lake, what happened with Salt Lake? And what happened with North Idaho? If you wouldn't mind telling us what happened.
Okay, last week Snow beat USU Eastern 78-61, and then they beat CNCC 76-39.
Before you go on, you were able to watch the USU Eastern game. You were actually calling it live
Yes.
with Snow TV. So tell us what happened in that game. What did the Badgers do well? What was kind of the keys to the game, or what did you like to see the Badgers do?
Well, our ladies had just barely come off of 3 losses, which I think was a little hard for them, but they had the fire to fight for this next win. You could tell they were a little bit nervous at the start. They were battling back and forth, but towards the end of the first half, I think they really pulled out. Coach Visker really got the fire lit under them, and they came out on top. In the second half, USU Eastern really didn't have a chance. The girls just really pulled out, and they played together very well as a team, and they won.
Yeah, and then on Saturday, the Badgers absolutely annihilated CNCC 76-39. So really, the Badgers did good. What else did Salt Lake do over the weekend?
Salt Lake beat CNCC 87-33, and USU Eastern 82-62.
Cool. And what did North Idaho do?
North Idaho beat CSI 90-59.
Perfect. So, upcoming this week, we know that the Badgers are looking to get a win against who?
Salt Lake Community College.
Exactly. So they did that a few weeks back. They were able to pick up the win, but with the Badgers losing 2 games, they dropped into second place in the conference. And a little bit later in the show, we're going to have Coach Natalie Visker and the players kind of talk with us what's going to happen. So we're pretty excited about that game, I won't lie. We're going to talk a little bit about a key matchup, but first we're going to go over another few things that are happening in the conference this upcoming weekend. What's going to happen, McCall?
USU Eastern is going to be playing North Idaho College. Colorado Northwestern is going to be playing College of Southern Idaho. And USU Eastern, once again on Saturday, will play College of Southern Idaho.
Perfect. So there you have it. We can definitely watch all those games. The good news for the Badgers is that they only have 1 game this week against Salt Lake.
They focus on that.
Yeah, on Thursday they're going to be able to rest. Instead of having a game, they're going to have more time to prepare. And we're really excited to watch this game. Hopefully you guys can tune in and watch it on YouTube. But what we've done is we have a key matchup for this upcoming game against Salt Lake. It's between Caitlin Hurley and also Shelby Richards. Caitlin Hurley's been leading the Badgers until the 3-game skid. She kind of didn't do as well, but she's kind of picking her game up again. On average, Caitlin gets 14.6 points, and also Shelby Richards get 13.1. Assists, 2 for Caitlin and 2.3 for Shelby Richards. And then here's the big thing we want to watch for this week is turnovers. Caitlin Hurley on a game average 3.6 turnovers, and Shelby Richards 2.5. So that's the huge matchup we're going to look for this week for the Badgers, is if Caitlin Hurley, of course, that freshman point guard for the Badgers, can kind of start to find her game again. I know a week ago, Natalie Visker talked about how long the season is and how important it is for her to come out and have a good game so that Badgers can have success. So, McCall, anything that we should watch for, anything going on this weekend? Anything else?
I just think that this game is going to be crucial for the Badgers. I think that it's to their advantage that they only have one game, and the way that they played last weekend, I don't think there's not a reason they shouldn't win.
Perfect. So everyone, you got to tune in and watch that game. It's 3 o'clock on Saturday, and the Badgers will be taking on Salt Lake Community College. And don't forget the other matchups that you can watch this weekend, as the Badgers are looking to gain back that first place and get a good seed in the conference tournament, which we'll talk about more when it gets a little bit closer. But this is McCall, and I'm Jeff, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Welcome back to Badger Den. I'm McCall, and we're here with Jaden and Savannah from our women's basketball team. So, ladies, where are you guys from?
I'm from West Jordan, Utah.
I'm from Layton, Utah.
How long have you guys been playing basketball?
Probably since I was like 7, so a couple of years.
Yeah, around 7.
Did you guys play any other sports in high school?
Well, I tried volleyball. I did not know how to
Yeah.
play that whatsoever, but I got on a poster for it, so that worked.
Nice. And a poster for your high school?
Yeah,
or
I was
what?
just like on the back wall in the gym.
Nice.
I ended up there somehow.
I played volleyball my sophomore year, but then I quit for basketball, so that's all.
Have you guys always wanted to play college basketball?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
ever since I started, I always knew I wanted to be a college basketball player.
And when did you guys decide you wanted to come to Snow?
I committed really early. I probably committed before my high school year even started, so I knew right away.
I don't know when I committed, like later in the season, after the high school season.
What positions do you guys play here at Snow?
I'm like a small forward / center sometimes.
I'm a center.
Did you guys do the same positions you played in high school?
Basically.
So you guys are not only college athletes, but you guys are students here at Snow. Have you decided what majors you want to pursue?
I'm doing nursing.
I haven't decided yet.
That's right, that's cool. So outside of your free time, when you're not playing basketball, what are some of your guys' hobbies?
Hang out,
I like movies and food.
watch movies.
Well, that's relaxing. That's probably a load off from after hard work in basketball, school. So, what is your favorite thing about basketball? What's the games, practice, teammates, anything?
I think the team is way fun. Like, some of us didn't even like each other coming in because of high school, but I think all the girls are fun, and it's just fun to play with everyone.
So, did you guys know anybody else before you came together as a team? Did you know them previously, like besides playing against them?
Not really. I just knew of people.
I knew one person Maddie Smith, she went to Layton too.
Nice. So, I was an athlete in high school, and I know that sports teach a lot of life lessons. If there's one lesson that you've learned from basketball, what would it be?
Probably just how to work hard and everything. You kind of apply it to like school, so you can still play basketball. So it kind of all ties into everything you do. For me.
Yeah, just how to work hard at everything, really.
And you guys are freshmen or sophomores here at Snow?
Freshman.
And how is that to just leaving your home, going and have not only being on a team with these girls, but you live with them and you study with them, you do everything with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that?
It's pretty fun. It's not really what I expected, but I love it. I love living with everyone. I think it's fun.
That's really fun.
So, what's just some fun, easy questions? What's your favorite food?
I like anything that's edible, honestly. I love cereal.
Pizza.
And you guys like to relax, so what's your favorite Netflix show or your movie?
That's a hard one.
School of Rock.
Yeah, that's a good. I love that movie too.
Well, I think we're done with questions. Again, we're here with Jaden and Savannah, and I'm McCall, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Welcome back to Badger Den. I'm Jeff Brinton, joined along with Coach Natalie Visker. Thanks for coming along one more time.
You're welcome, Jeff.
Perfect. So, had a rough skid there, 3 games straight that you lost, and now looks like you're back on track with picking up 2 wins this last weekend against USU Eastern and Colorado. Against the USU Eastern team, what did you guys do better that you didn't do in the first 3 games that you lost?
That's a good question. I thought we did a great job on defense. We did some special things. We have a blue call that we do and trap the wings, and we kind of took it out of their best players' hands and made them, even sped them up a little more than they wanted to be. We also controlled the boards a little better, especially in the second half. And I thought we moved the ball. We've been focusing on inside out offensively, and we did a good job with that. So it gave us better quality shots.
Perfect. I've noticed the team has not been shooting the ball very well, but that kind of changed. What would you say, what happened, what changed in the team to kind of change that shooting percentage?
Yeah, so that's the inside-out thing, inside, whether it's a drive in the key, a pass inside to a post, a back cut off of an offensive rebound, anything that starts inside, and then you get it back out, it's usually an easier shot. So we're trying to get great shots instead of just good shots, because this team has a lot of good shooters, and if we get great shots and we start to make them, and we're also getting more layups, inside shots that will help our field goal percentage, that's why it went up, and then our threes are actually better threes because of the inside-out emphasis.
Perfect. So right now, as your team is trying to fight its way back into first place in conference play, sitting in second place behind Salt Lake, who you'll take on this weekend, what are you guys doing to prepare for them?
Yeah, we have the whole week to prepare. Today we did a lot of us. Worked on transition, that's a key part of basketball, especially in conference. Defensive transition and offensive, trying to limit defensively them getting in the paint, and then offensively we need to get the ball in the paint. Then rebounding, they cleaned up the glass against us last time. They had 3 times as many second chance opportunities, and they just hurt us inside with the rebounding. So we've been really working on that. We have been for the last 2 weeks. So that's kind of our. I think if we can handle that, we have a really good chance. So.
Okay, Coach. Got a quick question as to turnovers this year. Starting the season off well, didn't turn the ball over too many times, but in the last few games you've turned the ball over multiple times. What are you doing to help your team prevent those turnovers? Because turnovers usually turns into points for the other team.
Yeah, well, these coaches do a good job. They scout our plays, they usually take away the first option, pretty good ball pressure. Plus teams at this time of the year, their defense is better, their defensive rotation. So it's harder to get what you were getting before. We actually did a better job, I thought, with turnovers against Rangeley and North. We doubled, I think we didn't have near as many turnovers as Eastern did. And we also had half the turnovers that Rangeley did. So I thought that was good. There's bad turnovers and there's good turnovers. So an example of a bad turnover would be just an errant pass at the top of the key that turns into a layup for the other team. Whereas an inside-to-out turnover on a great drive they just make a great defensive play, whether we just missed, couldn't finish because of a good help side rotation, which doesn't usually lead into a direct basket for the other team. So that's part of what we emphasize on what kind of turnovers.
Perfect. So this week you only have to play 1 game against Salt Lake here at home. Got a lot of time to rest, but also a lot of time to get in kind of a lax mode. What are you doing to keep your team kind of pushing in these last few weeks, I guess you could say?
Well, I yell and scream a lot. My assistants do a great job. We kind of divvy up the drills so they don't always hear the same voice with different drills. We're mixing up twists and turns on certain things, kind of throwing a new drill here and there. We gave them yesterday off. We had no class, so they got but most of them were able to go home, so they got a day off. Today we watched a scene from the movie Bridesmaids and had some treats after practice. So I think I'm pretty fun. I try to mix it up. Yeah, so we'll do a couple other fun things this week. But they gotta just get excited about the one game, and rest up. And we've had a couple little kids get dinged up, and so it's nice to get the extra rest.
Perfect. As speaking about dinged up, the season's really long. You got a lot of freshmen right now going down the stretch. How do you feel about your freshmen? Do you think they can continue to play the minutes they've been playing, or are you going to start to maybe cut a little bit of their playing time, or what's the plan there?
Well, I think we have the most depth in the conference as far as 1 through 13. And we had started out the season with 13. We had a couple kids get hurt or have to end their season early, and we have 11 now. And I feel like we can go all the way into our bench if we need to. And so I don't know if our players are playing as many minutes as some of the other teams. So I don't think anybody's really averaging over 32 minutes a game, which is really nice. And usually those are our sophomores that are getting those. We have 2 freshman point guards that are able to split time there. But I think the hard part for freshmen is just the length of the season, It's twice as long as a high school season. It's a grind, it's grueling, it's the focus, and there's never a bad opponent. So it's just being able to refocus and push yourself through every day is a grind. I think that's what they struggle with the most. It's not so much physical, I think it's really mental.
Okay. So you're going to help your team prepare mentally for the rest of the season. Also, taking on Salt Lake this weekend, the first time you guys played in Salt Lake was a close game. You were down by a pretty large deficit and were able to fight back and win that game in a close margin. What are you going to do so the team comes out hot so that you don't have to come back from another deep margin?
I think it starts with our defensive intensity and how hard we decide to play. Yeah, against Rangeley, we mixed it up and we did some fun trapping defenses, and we played a lot of make-miss that created offense for us, So that's nice when you can just create offense from your defense. It leads to easier baskets. So you get 2s on 1s, 3s on 2s. And so we're going to look at doing some of those kind of things, putting pressure on them to make great plays. And also we might run some sets for people to get in the flow a little. We have a motion offense, but I think they'll be ready for that. So it's just, I really believe it starts with our defense and our rebounding, and then maybe not making too many extra passes, getting it inside to out and getting good shots. There'll be some nerves there. There always is, especially when you play Salt Lake. It's a big game. The players know that. So just get on them after. It doesn't start Saturday. It starts today in practice. It started. So I think we had a good practice.
So maybe you just tipped your hand that you might come out pressing against Salt Lake. And what are you doing right now to continue to break the press? I've noticed many teams have tried to press you, and sometimes they do a pretty good job at it, and it slows your offense down. So what have you worked with the team to break that press?
Well, yeah, so CSI and North both pressed us, exactly, to take some time off the shot clock. I don't see Salt Lake doing that. They just aren't a pressing team. They don't really have a lot of depth to press. They'll try to take us out of what we do in the half court, and they do a good job. They trapped our wings in transition last time. We've put in a new transition look. So versus the press, it was just a slow down press, and we were having a hard time entering the ball into our offense. We didn't really turn it over too much. We just weren't getting the shots we want. So we've talked about that. As far as us pressing, I don't think our crazy full court press will work real well against Salt Lake. They just do a good job breaking press. And we haven't talked about tempo presses, so we're not going to throw in anything new at this point. But we do have a half court 2-1-2 that's fun. We call it Buzz. And it's tough to play against. We also do a great job in our 2-3 zone. So we want to try different stuff where it puts pressure on them in the half court, not the full court. Because they're a half court team. They do a really nice job running their sets. So we're going to try to take them out of their sets with things we did. Kind of like what we did with Eastern, if you watch that. We just did some nice things and took them out of what they wanted to do.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming on. Coach Natalie Visker here with us. Tune in on YouTube this Saturday at 3 o'clock to watch the women take on Salt Lake Community College here in Ephraim. This is Jeff Britton.